got to feel in heaven when my lover's near. Lord, let this moment last for another year. Though today has ended, the night's still young, I'd say. Lover, don't go away. Let it be the thing that I am longing for. Let's fly out from Manhattan to the California shore, just to watch the ships at night on the San Francisco Bay. Oh, lover, please, please stay. Don't say you have to go. Don't say you need to run. I'll stop the clock on Central Station and we can have a drink downtown. Let it be the night that I am longing for. Let's fly down south to Austin or to Ecuador, just to drink pina colada on a hot, wet summer's day. Oh, lover, please, please stay.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the Stir Crazy Sanka set. I am the divine Denny D.
I am a very warm Elle Diabloe.
I would dare say you're hot.
Oh, thank you.
Hot.
Oh, thanks.
I think of pigtails. It's cute.
Thank you. It was so warm.
It's
and
very warm up here
I
this
didn't know
today.
what was going on. And
Yes.
my hair just kept getting larger.
Wider?
Larger and in charger.
It just gets wider.
It just gets wider.
You became
I figured,
two-dimensional.
yeah, and I figured you still needed space to fit in the frame. So
Yes, I'm a very large person.
No, I just had very large hair.
You did. You did.
It was very big.
But it's beautiful now. I like this.
I don't
It's
know
very cute.
the last time I put it.
I don't think I've ever seen you wear pigtails.
And braids. Pigtails and braids
Pigtails
all at
are,
once.
what is the difference? I thought a pigtail and a braid were the same thing.
No, this is the braid is the actual braid, and the pigtail is like the...
When you have the two on the side.
Why
Why does that make any sense? Because pigs only do have one tail. They don't really have two tails on.
I do not know.
What? This is a weird thing. I thought it was because of the braiding is what made it the Pigtalian.
It was Pigtalian?
That's my favorite musical, by the way.
Pigtalian? Hi, I'm Diabloe.
Welcome. If you guys have never been here before, we are a couple of people, bipeds, carbon-based life forms.
Life forms, yes, indeed.
Based in La Belle, Quebec, Canada. You can tell by the French that we speak.
Yes.
Quite fluently.
Speak for yourself. But...
Well, I meant currently right now.
Moi, je suis bien en France.
There we are, very much.
But yeah, we're in La Belle. It's very warm.
Very warm.
We're doing some cocktails and some cooking tonight.
Exactly. In the land before times, we were burlesque folk. We were circus carnies.
Carnies.
You might say. I was a host, a comedian, a producer, a writer.
I was a burlesque dancer and a host and a choreographer and teacher, and now we
The pandemic hit.
The Grand Panini.
The Grand Panini hit. We paused on all of the live performance and we decided to do this.
It's still live.
It's just still live. It's live on the internet.
We can't reach out and touch the people.
We can, but you have to resign if you are the governor.
That is true. That is true.
Political.
So many jokes. Hi, Rose, your photos are beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Photos. Which photos?
She did a smoke bomb photo shoot with Andrea Husband, and they're
Oh, fantastic! I'll have to take a look.
Cocoa House.
Cocoa House.
Cocoa House.
Cocoa House. Who are you being Chef Duy-an today?
Wait.
You're doxing people?
No, I mean, the photographer is Andrea Husband. Her
Okay.
photography studio is Cocoa House.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I don't think I doxed her. I think
I wasn't
I
sure.
double promoted her.
Double promote. Oh, this is my favorite gum.
Yeah.
And today is our super corny episode. It's an episode devoted to everything corn.
Everything corn.
Because we live, I don't know if you know this about Labelle, but it is the land of corn.
On a beaucoup de corn.
Beaucoup
Mice.
corn. Beaucoup mice. There's a lot of mice. There's a lot of corn as well.
Actually, about, 6 minutes from here?
About that.
There's a very large corn farm.
That's where we get our strawberries.
And yes, we also get our strawberries, and their hothouse tomatoes are beautiful.
Yeah.
But there is a mass abundance. It's one of the only things that happens to be in abundance right now.
Well,
corn.
it is corn season.
Yeah.
And it's the end of corn season, so you get some of the neat, interesting stuff. And we've got some. And what I love is corn is so dirt cheap up here right now.
It's cheap. It's delicious.
You get two garbage bags of corn for I think
$4.
$4.
But I couldn't believe because I've grown up eating Quebec corn, but I've never grown up so close to a corn
cornery?
A corn farm,
To the corner?
To the cornery.
The corner store?
The no.
It's called the dépanneur here.
Corn or strawberry store. I didn't realize how fast corn grows, or perhaps my complete lack of a concept of time anymore. Maybe corn doesn't grow fast
they
at
planted that corn, like I said, they planted that corn probably about, I want to go a month ago, maybe between 3 weeks to a month ago they planted. Or we started to notice that. Yeah. And it is now knee-high to a grasshopper, as they say up here.
It's pretty big.
It's very big. So the
like
corn grows like that. That's why it is one of the most prolific crops in the world.
Yes.
It grows so well. And so
it has
today
many things to say.
we are going to devote an entire episode to the delicious wonderfulness that is corn. I love corn on the cob. It is one of my favorite things in the world to have. And again, you can make it so many different ways, but to me, just throwing it into a pot with some hot water, boiling water, and a little salt, a little pepper, a little butter.
You know, for a long time I stopped eating corn. I denied myself the absolute joy of eating corn because I didn't like the fact that the corn got stuck in my teeth and I couldn't eat it unless I was alone. So I just stopped.
This provides this visual of you sitting in a room somewhere with like a stack of corn cobs.
And just what were they called?
Bugs Bunny it.
Heckle and Jekyll.
The Heckle and Jekyll? Oh, Bugs Bunny did it too, I think, sometimes.
But yes, I am glad that I have reintroduced corn into my
thanks for the follow.
Into my life.
Fragilitis? Fragilities.
Fragilities?
Fragilities? There we are. Thank you very much. Fragilities.
He turned you, he turned you into a Greek philosopher.
I am fragilities. I remember the theorems of Fragilities as he fought the Cyclops.
And thanks for the unfollow.
Excellent. So what are you making for us today? We got some good food.
Much to my absolute dismay, given the fact that it is honest to God.
Well, when you chose that, it wasn't this hot.
Yeah, it was not this hot, and I thought, what a great way.
Give me a little room.
Sorry, but all of
I know you always square yourself in the middle, but they can see you over that.
I know, but I don't want to be like.
Look where you are. See, nobody can see. Nobody has.
I got you. It was more that the stuff was there, and it felt crowded. I am, despite the fact that it is about 105 degrees in our kitchen today, I am making corn chowder.
Corn chowder.
Because that's what you need. Actually, I don't mind eating soup when it's hot.
I love soup because, again, a hot soup, same thing with a hot tea. It raises your body temperature. It actually makes it feel cooler up.
Promotes sweat.
Yes.
So I'm making a delicious corn chowder.
Corn chowder.
And I'm going to talk a little bit also. I'm not making anything else, but we're just going to discuss a couple of fun ways to zhuzh up your corn.
Yeah.
And you?
And me. Well, it's funny. I had to change a cocktail on the fly. And again, when you're talking about cocktails and corn, there are actually quite a few cocktails that involve corn, like the actual putting corn into the cocktail.
I think that would be gross.
None of them sounded good.
No.
The one that I thought was an interesting idea was candy corn. But it's August. There is no candy
That's
corn.
because there's real corn now. Candy
So I
corn
went with eggnog. That didn't work either. No. And then the McRib.
What?
No, I just things that you can't get all
All
the
the
time.
time.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes,
No. What is
yes. Ay, ay, ay.
seasonal?
We'd be
food?
terrible on $20,000 pyramid. Is it still $20,000 or $100,000 pyramid? I think it's $100,000 pyramid.
If it was still $20,000, I don't think anyone would play.
Nobody play it.
It.
Is Donny Osmond still hosting it?
I have no. You're asking me about questions that I have no idea.
I don't know. Who cares? Anyways,
So-
but one thing about corn, it is used to make one of probably my favorite alcohol of all time, and that, of course, is bourbon whiskey.
It's
Corn
like
mash
it's
whiskey.
Like your mom knew.
Yes, corn mash bourbon whiskey, and in this case, the one of the most beautiful corn whiskeys, which is Maker's Mark. It is if you don't drink whiskey a lot and you're not sure where to start, I can't recommend a whiskey more than Maker's Mark bourbon. It's a little bit sweet on the palate. It's a little bit, but it's rich. It's such a beautiful cocktail all on its own, just neat. If you want to get into whiskey, you're not a big whiskey drinker, I recommend starting here. So we're going to make a bourbon cocktail today, of course. And in fact, I'm going to go, and it's good that it's hot. So I thought about that. It might be hot. So I'm going to make you a lovely bourbon iced tea a little bit later when you got the soup heats going on.
The soup heats?
The soup heats.
Regular soup heat, the regular heat's on right now, but yeah.
But I was going to make this delicious, look, I don't know how delicious it was. It was a candy corn martini, where you make candy corn and you soak it in vodka. So you make candy corn vodka.
Oh, I'm so glad that they're not in
but
season.
we did the marshmallow vodka, and that wasn't
I don't
bad.
like candy corn though. So it's
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love candy corn. So we didn't have that, but all of the ingredients, save for the candy corn portion of the vodka, also goes into making up an entirely other drink called the Mayday Martini. So, in order to keep the corn theme, we decided to add a little Tito's, which is a vodka made from corn.
My favorite vodka.
And we're going to do a little taste test on it and see if you can tell the difference.
Cool. And bonsoir, Yannick.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
let's say hi to the people.
yeah, shall we say hi to the people? Hello, people.
That way.
All right. Hey, who do we got over here? Oh, Yannick is here. Lovely. That's Ruby is here.
Your mom.
My mom was here before anybody. That was amazing.
She's ahead of. She's
on top of the game.
She's behind schedule.
Behind schedule, but she's on top of her game. So we have
everyone.
Everybody seems very lovely here. If you haven't said hi on an episode of the show before, say hi when you get here. We love to hear from you. We got questions for you later to get involved.
Yeah.
We got a good game for it today.
It's participatory.
It's participatory. So I'm gonna have a silly game. We're gonna have all kinds of fun.
And you can watch my makeup really
just melt off
my face.
Excellent. So if you're here, please make sure you say hi. We'd love to hear from you.
Otherwise, it's almost like you're creeping in our house and we don't know you're here.
And if not, we will feed you to fragilities. Shall we go back over here?
We should.
Let's go back. I just want to. Let me see. And I just wanted to make sure. Is this still working? This is still working? No, that turned off. I don't know why that's turning off. I've got to get a whole new camera for that one, I think.
There's only so many cameras that households should have.
Exactly. I got to find another phone.
Fair.
But I'll fix that in a minute. We won't need it right away. I'll do it while you're cooking.
Oh, thanks.
So that way you can cook and I can just come in.
Hang over me.
Hang over you. I just have to push a button. But we'll fix that up, or maybe we'll just also check in with where Mr.
Where is Mr. Ling?
Mr. Ling!
Mr. Ling is riding 2 elephants.
He is riding the 2 elephants.
He seems to be holding on to the 2 elephants with his schlong.
Yeah, well, that's how you ride an elephant. I don't know if you've ever ridden an elephant before.
An elephant. Yeah, I have ridden an elephant actually.
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't remember his name. I was like 6 at some. Oh, this is going to make me sound like such an anti-animal rights person. At some like
some makeup factory.
No, it was like a safari park in the States somewhere when I was a very little girl.
Oh.
When that kind of thing was still acceptable.
Was still acceptable, still kosher.
Still kosher.
But now
no more.
You cannot do that.
No.
Nope.
No.
But I've never ridden an elephant, but I've heard that when you do,
you have to ride it with your schlong.
Schlong or no schlong. That is the rub.
Heat stroke.
No, I was just being Shakespearean.
Gotcha.
Huzzah.
Zazah.
So would you like to have a drink?
Other than the one that I'm currently
Other than
imagining?
when you drink
Sure.
it? Well, let's see what else we have going on today. Before we go in, we have a few other things that are
What do we
happening.
have?
We have, of course, the sexy woman is back.
Sexy woman's.
Very good sexy woman. I like this sexy woman today.
Okay.
It's a very fun site. You actually haven't seen it.
No, I have not seen it.
It's very good. Sexy woman with guests.
Yes. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about.
You probably do, but
you know,
you
I
haven't seen it,
I
so
have
you
not
don't
seen
know.
it, so.
We have music today, of course, and I thought since it's the corny episode, I would do one of the cornier things. And it's the return of the main three.
Oh, yay,
The main three is back with one of our cornier songs, which I think we've played on the show before, but I think it's lovely.
So we got new peeps, and the old peeps like our old stuff. So
There we are.
Giddy up. Also, by the way, on a completely unrelated note,
Yes.
if you've been waiting on merchandise from us, understand kindly. Here, bring it in. Bring him over here for a second.
Oh, all right,
I
you
wanna
go over
talk to
there.
people for one
I'm going to
second.
fix this
Just for
thing.
1 second. Hi, it's me. So, as you may or may not know, in my other life, I sell promotional merchandise. There is no inventory in anything, anywhere. So, if you have ordered a Stir Crazy 1-year anniversary shirt from us, they are coming. Stock was due 2 weeks ago. It's now due 2 weeks from now, but it is coming. I do promise. My sincerest apologies. I wish I could source the cotton, mill the cotton, make the shirts, print them myself, but alas, I cannot. So, I thank you muchly for your patience. And if you have not ordered a shirt, but you do still want to order a shirt, you can do that because they're coming in soon.
Hey,
Back to you in the studio.
there we are. Let's see if this works now. Hang on, I just want to check to see if this works now. Oh, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there we
Oh,
are.
and you could see where I chopped right through my nail when I was cooking it.
Oh. All right. I'm going to
All right.
squidge in there if I
I'm
may.
going to squidge over there.
We're going to make what is called the Mayday Martini. But I had a little thing I was going to do with you.
Did you?
Ah, there we are. We're going to do a little taste test together.
Should I like turn my back or move
No,
around,
I
or-
think I was going to do that, but then I realized one of them is extra cold, so you'll automatically know which one it is.
That's a fair statement.
So, but we're going to see. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with probably my favorite go-to whiskey. It's a Canadian whiskey. Vodka called Iceberg Vodka. I'm just doing a little splash. It's not even a full shot. It's about a quarter of a shot. And this is a standard, very, very standard vodka. It's, I believe, a potato vodka. It's excellent. It's won awards. Take a little taste of that. Give it a smell. You shouldn't smell anything.
It's good.
It's a clean, smooth. Now,
Oh, no, I haven't finished mine.
Oh,
You said
sorry.
just take a sip, so I just took a little sip. I was following.
I put a
instructions.
sip in there. I thought that was a sip. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try and see, does the corn affect the vodka drastically? So this is now the Tito's corn vodka.
This is my favorite.
This
vodka,
is your
so
favorite
that's-
vodka. See if you can taste, what do you taste in the difference? First of all, how would you describe that one when you describe it?
Well, I drink vodka as a go-to normally because I don't find a taste of anything, which is
Yeah.
why I like it the most. Although sometimes on your first straight vodka, it's a little bit nail polishy, and that's how you know that's not a good vodka.
None of that is answering
No.
the question I asked.
It's got a nothing flavor, I find, but it's smooth.
It's a very smooth,
Which sounds like a weird thing to say. It's smooth, but it tastes like nothing. But it's smooth, but
Yeah.
there's nothing like.
If you had to put is there anything that comes out in it that you would say?
Well, I also just did that on the back of a whiskey, so I'm not sure. And I'm not asking
No.
for more. No. It's truly nondescript. It's
No.
not like a Jabroska or something where you get a bison.
No,
grass
but that's a
or whatever.
flavored
Yeah.
vodka in all fairness. This is, I see, to me, I've always found what I like about that is exactly what you described. It is probably one of the more neutral vodkas. I find almost every other vodka has some kind of note to it, almost, and it's funny where you go from, because as you can see, some companies who make different things, vodka isn't their main thing.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get notes of everything else they make. Now this is the corn vodka. Let's see if we can say a difference in it.
I find it smells like a percentage point sweeter.
Oh, I think it's much, much sweeter. I think it is much sweeter in taste, especially.
And again, it's weird when you say it tastes like nothing, but it's a sweeter nothing, or it's a smoother nothing, or it's a whatever. But
it has a hint to me of, weirdly, I would say cereal milk. I like that type of a sweetness. It's a sweetness that has come, that is by adding something sweet to something that isn't sweet.
But there's also, I find, if you're comparing the two, and temperature might be a factor at this particular juncture, I find the Tito's is rounder in the mouth than the iceberg. It's a fuller flavor.
Yeah, I'm just gonna dump this back.
And yet again, it doesn't. Still, I wouldn't be like, oh, it super duper tastes like corn. It doesn't super duper taste like anything but vodka. But it's got a rounder,
but I find
fuller mouth feel to it.
See, I've always found Tito's to be a sweeter vodka. It's, of all the vodkas, I like it. But it is a little sweeter. It's a little richer vodka. This to me is a better mixing vodka because it is that neutral spirit.
Fine, but again, I drink my vodka.
I just wanted to see. I didn't know.
And I drink my vodka straight a lot, so that's why I like the Tito's, because I do find it's a nicer drinking experience. Tito's on the rocks, a couple of fresh lime squirts in there, delicious.
Yeah. Well, I find that's why Tito's really works, because there is that little bit of sweetness. So when you add that sort of acidic bitterness of the lime, it really complements. You get a very round flavor. All right, we are making, if you want to bring this up, what's called the Mayday Martini. It's a very simple martini. And since it's a martini, we are going to, of course, stir it.
Just bounce me back into here.
Did you click in there?
Oh.
You've got to click to make sure you're in the right window.
I know, but here and here. There we go.
There we are. It's a simple martini, and since it's martini, we're going to stir it. It is pretty much I added a fourth, 3 ingredients. We have our vodka. We have some lemon juice. We have a little bit of cinnamon syrup. This is made by making a simple syrup. I put 3 cinnamon sticks and just let it soak overnight. And I like to round this off a little bit, and I think the Angostura just gives it, because of that cinnamon sweetness, the Angostura rounds it off just a little bit more. But very, very simple drink. Could you grab me the ice bucket too, please?
For sure can.
So we are going to start off with our 2 ounces of our vodka. And again, we're using the corn vodka because, hey, that's on theme for today. Boom. So
honestly, the idea of putting corn in a cocktail makes me so nauseous, so I'm so glad you're not doing that.
There are some. I've had a corn martini that is actually quite a nice thing. The other things that are very simple is we want, and can you grab me the paring knife, please? We are going to add in 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. Oops. Let go.
Put it in the lemon squoze.
Got to put in the lemon part of the squoze. Lemon squoze. Oh, there we go. There's 1. And
On fait 2 parce qu'il y a 2 cocktails.
Wait. And there we go.
Je vais commencer à ajouter du français.
I had no problem with that. I think it's a very beneficial thing to do. Bang! All right, so we put in 3/4 ounce of our lemon juice. Now we're going to add 3/4 of an ounce of our cinnamon syrup. Again, simple syrup, so this is equal parts sugar, water. 3 cinnamon sticks. So let that heat that up a little bit till it dissolves. It's a little bit warmer because I want to infuse it a little bit more. I get a little bit warmer. You never want to boil it, but you want to get it hot. Then I transferred it to a mason jar, added 3 cinnamon sticks, let it sit overnight, and you get this beautiful, very, very cinnamony syrup.
And these syrups can be used for other stuff too. You don't just have to use them for cocktail making. You know, you can add them to lemonades and other things, and flavor stuff up that way.
I will say, if you're doing a 1-to-1 syrup, if you're doing a 1 part sugar to 1 part water, keep it about 6 weeks at very most. If you want to keep it longer, if you do a 2-to-1 sugar, 2-to-1 sugar to water, that'll keep about a year and a half. If you want a thinner, you want to keep your 1-to-1 longer, add a little bit of vodka. That'll
Look at all the tricks you're learning tonight.
So we have that, and we're going to add a dash of Angostura. This is going to give us just a little bit of rounder, richer tones. And we're just going to add our ice. And it is time. I'll wait for you.
Oh yes, I haven't done a stirring dance.
You haven't done the stirring dance all season. It's time to stir. Shall we stir?
We shall stir. Stirring.
Oh, look at that go. That's a good stir.
Trying to keep up.
Keep going. Let's see how faster we go. No, I don't want to. You never want to go too fast with your
My
stir.
boobs will fly off.
Your boobs with your stir go as fast as you want. With this, you don't go too fast. You don't want to accidentally break the ice. In fact, one of the things when you're doing when you're stirring is you're actually rotating the stick in your hand. You want to try and keep that back of the spoon to the wall of your
glass
stirring mug or stirring pitcher. There we have that. So we let that stir long enough. We are going to take our, I can't remember what we called what these ones were.
Dover coops.
The Dover coops. And because this has got a little bit of citrus in it, we are going to, of course, fine strain it.
Thank you, Sylvie.
Hi,
Miss
Sylvie.
your face.
Good to hear from you, Sil. And there we go here.
I love these little Dover coops. We got these at Alambika if you happen to be in Montreal. It's like Saint Laurent and
Like, what's the bagel place?
Fairmont?
Near Fairmont?
No, it's like Saint-Zotique and
maybe up there.
Saint Laurent, something like that. It's on the west-hand side of the street. It's got the most incredible glassware, some incredible knives as well. Check them out. They're amazing.
All right, and then finally, we're going to take. I'm actually going to grab a. Boom, 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 boom. Grab that. I think I said wheel in there, but I didn't mean the element.
The ingredients have disappeared, so nobody
nobody's
to know.
nobody's ever going to know that, but we're going to take a twist.
I'm just going to loosen that for you.
I don't want it loose. I don't want it loose. I want it quite hard, actually. There we are. And we'll have the here. And I can just use this. Boom. And there we have
the Mayday tea.
The Mayday Martini.
Made with corn vodka.
Made with corn vodka. Shall we try that?
Yeah, we should.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
That's nice. I think it's the cinnamon with the lemon.
Yep.
Really bright. It's a nice summer. It's a nice summer drink. It's a good start to the day.
It's a good start to the day.
Ah, yeah, no, it's a good morning drink.
Yeah, that would make a nice.
It's a good brunch drink. Yeah,
that would make an excellent brunch drink, actually.
Yeah, it's light.
And, but bright, like you said. Light and bright.
Yeah.
Like light bright, but.
You know, and in fact, I don't think I would feel bad about actually shaking that next time. Get a little bit more dilution into that, I think, would actually complement it.
And maybe it's just because it's 100 million degrees in the house. I'm also thinking something like a slushy with that, like a rosé style or something, that kind of thing. Like that would be.
I think if I did that, I'd want to cut back on the cinnamon a little bit, the syrup a little bit.
Okay, I'm just saying. I think as a slushy beverage, that would make a very nice, tasty slushy beverage.
Yeah. So that's the Mayday Martini. It's excellent. It's a delicious little drink.
Highly recommend.
Yeah. It's great. It's especially because it's a 3-ingredient cocktail. Love those.
Yeah, man.
Vodka, add 2 more things. All right. Shall we ask a question of these lovely people?
We can ask a question.
Again, today was a bit hard. Like, again, when we do our themed shows about, like, very involved topics, The Office, I had so many questions I wanted to ask people about The Office. And just because I love these.
Click on stream starts with booze. There will be food and more booze.
Oh, so and that's, well, you see who put it down? It's Boozy Brit.
Oh,
well welcome, Boozy Brit. Cheerio. The one thing I will say, because I know you love it and because you are the love of my life, I just want to make sure that I keep it straight and narrow for you.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I think Michael Scott is going to be a permanent fixture on our show. I just spit everywhere. Pardon.
It's all right. Excellent. Liquid lunch? No, this is actually...
it's cocktail hour.
It's cocktail hour.
In Montreal, or we're in Labelle, but in Montreal, in Canada.
Exactly. What time? It's I would say it's about tea time. Isn't this about tea?
It's about tea time, but it's happy hour or 5 à 7.
5 à 7 as we call it here in Quebec.
Call it.
Yes, well, welcome. If you've never been here before, welcome to the show. We're going to cook you some food. We're going to bake you some drinks. We're going to do some weird stuff that makes you laugh.
Woo!
With a little bit of sexy.
Weird shit.
So welcome to everybody. I want to thank as well all the people who keep coming back. Mm-hmm. Since we've been doing this, it's quite amazing to me that we have managed to do this as long as we have.
Yeah, it's over. It's a year and a half now.
About a year and a half since all of the panini stuff happened.
Panini started.
The great panini of 2020. I believe it was sausage.
Panini?
Sausage panini, yeah. I've never been here before. I apologize. I know almost nothing about cooking. If I learn something down the line, then I'm happy. Well, I tell you what, we're going to teach you how to make a soup.
Yep.
You're going to learn how to make a soup, and a soup is a phenomenal thing because if you are hungry, you can make a lot of it at once.
Yes. Even if you aren't hungry, you can make a lot of it and eat it later.
Yeah, it's great.
Woohoo, soup.
Soup is a good thing. Excellent. That was fantastic.
It was.
What's going
on? It's very warm.
It's very warm. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's okay. I love you, but...
To clouder your chowder.
Don't clouder my chowder, man.
What is a clouder? Do you know what a clouder is?
I have no idea.
It's the collective term for cats.
A clouder of cats?
Yes, it's a clouder of cats.
I have never heard this.
This is true. We'll play the collective game because that's one of my favorite games. There's some weird collectives. Like crows, I'm sure you know what crow.
Murder.
No, nowadays it's a homicide.
A homicide of crows.
Exactly.
A violent incident of crows.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's my game. Ask a question. What are we doing?
We're not. You're making some chowder.
I thought we were asking a question.
Oh, did we not ask a question? Sorry, I totally forgot about that. I'm sweet. In my head, we had asked it. It was gone. We were done.
We started chat.
First question of the day. For those people who have never had... have never been here before, we love to ask questions, get everybody involved. Today's question, because it's all about the corn today, simple question. Simple question. What is your favorite corn-based dish? There are so many. When you think about what corn goes into, if you look at certain cuisines are entirely based on corn. If you look especially down into Mexico, and there's so much corn in the diet alone.
As opposed to everywhere else where there's corn. Other than the diet.
Some places like to make things from corn.
Yeah.
What is your favorite corn-based dish? And I can say, when I say dish, you can either say, I'll give you the option, a complete, like a thing. You can say, oh, I love, corn chowder. That might be, or you can also say the thing that is made from corn that maybe is required to do something like, you can say tortillas, corn tortillas. Or
what I was going to say is both of my favorite corn things happen to be Mexican. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say esquites or elotes, which is basically the same thing, just one's on the cob and one's not on the cob. Mm-hmm. Or I'm not a huge corn tortilla fan.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Because I'm so ratchet and white that I do prefer the texture and heft of a flour tortilla. Mm-hmm. But a good old fashioned corn chip is fucking aces. Like a corn nacho.
What was the
proper
Frito-Lays?
Oh, that's a whole other story.
Then they had the Ringos.
Ringos I never liked, but corn chip Fritos had a corn chip back in the 80s.
I hated that. To me, that was a terrible chip as a child. That's how I sort of judged that somebody didn't really like me as a child.
They gave you Fritos?
Yeah.
I loved Fritos. They were so salty and awful. But like a good nacho chip.
A nacho chip?
Like it's nacho chip.
You're
like a fucking chip.
So that you don't like the tortilla, but
no.
if it's crispy.
If it's a corn chip, it's fine.
What about a taco? If it's a crispy shell versus, because most crispy shell tacos are going to be corn.
Yep.
Do you prefer a crispy or a soft taco?
I see here.
Threw a whole wrench into that one.
I will answer. I
saw your brain stop.
Question that you didn't even ask, which is if I'm having, I prefer a soft taco, but like every once in a while, again, ratchet white girl. I've spent plenty of time in Mexico, but every once in a while, like a crispy, crunchy
Yeah.
night taco makes me very happy. But given the option, I will always go soft taco.
Yeah. For me, I think it's pretty simple. I think there's two. Probably when I think of something that is made, and it's probably never a standalone thing, but I love it so much, which is a good cornbread that has been drizzled in some molasses. It's just like, oh, really. But I think probably my favorite thing that I've ever had is your corn salad that you make for the
Esquites.
Yeah, I think it's delicious. It's light. I could eat. Generally, when you remake it, I could probably eat the whole thing.
But it's so. Part of the reason why I love Mexican, I love the food of hot climates.
Yeah.
Because I find like Thailand's the same kind of thing. You're talking about different flavor
or
profiles.
in the case us, we're hot climate right now.
Also right now, but it's different. But you look at like what I love about the esquites is like you get the corn, which has got a sweetness to it, and then you add some queso in there, and that's got a bit of a salt to it, and then you top the lime.
Yeah.
Brings all the brightness out. So I find anywhere where the climate's really hot, the food tends to be really bright. And I love that about hot climate food.
Cool. Let's see what the people have over here.
What do people over here say? Gaggle of grease and Brucey bread. He's a simple man. Corn smothered in butter is beautiful. Not healthy, but I think we can forgive it. That was a brilliant idea. I said that earlier. I think if you're really with corn, it straight up is one of the few vegetables that you can just go really all on its own is the best. Corn pudding. I like a good corn pudding.
She said
corn salsa.
Also.
And huitlacoche. What's the coche? Say it. How is it? Huitlacoche. Coche. Ah.
Corn mango salsa.
Ooh.
Here, I'm going to give a little tip to my our new friend Boozy Brit. And this was something I was going to talk about later, but I'm going to talk about it now anyway. Compound butter for corn, my friends. Dead easy. You can take butter and add other flavors to it and make a whole new butter. And like I remember a couple years ago we did a barbecue and I did like a corn station where you grill your corn or boil your corn or whatever, and then you could put out different types of. I did basil butter, citrus and something butter, and it's so easy to do. Yeah. Really, you're just chopping fresh herbs, basically melting and reconstituting butter and like rolling it into a little log. You can use like a parchment paper or a wax paper. And then,
compound butters.
Yeah, put it back in the fridge, let it harden all nice and purry, and you can impress all your friends. One piece of corn, like 10 different butters.
My favorite compound butter, peanut butter. Speaking of peanut butter, I've displayed it already. Look, it's all yellow over here. I call this the corner. Oh, it's the corner.
Being a child of the corn.
See, ironically, the drink that I couldn't make was called the Children of the Corn. Oh. Shall we make some food? Do you want this up here, or do you want to go?
Oh yes, let's just put that up there. All right. This is how I know.
I know this is not working right now, I bet you.
Is it not? No, that's still my hand. All right, it doesn't matter.
You do that.
We can fly cam. Also, worst case.
Oh, you fix it.
We
can use the fly cam,
but I'll talk to the people while I go get my
Yeah. Oh, hi, people.
No, Dan.
I'm talking to people. Where are you going? Hey, people. How are you? See, this is when the ladder comes out. You know things are getting serious because this, for some reason, keeps turning off. Drives me crazy a little bit. But I've come to accept the things that I cannot change and hate the things that I can.
Thank you for that soliloquy by Dan.
Well, that's...
all right, friends. All right, I need to take a moment because it is so warm in here, and we're going to do it. We're just going to commit, and we're going to go, and if like my whole self just turns into a puddle, so be it. We're going to start the scary machine off. I'm going in at about medium. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter here, all ready to go in my
There we go, look.
Prep scenario.
Canada still going through a heat wave?
Oh, yes.
It is here. The rest of it is just on fire.
Yeah, we're lucky because we're not on fire, but it's pretty hot.
It's very warm up here.
It's pretty fucking hot. So we're just going to melt this butter. And can you pull up my recipe, please?
Yes, I can. What is the difference between a chowder and a regular soup? Was that a question I shouldn't have asked?
Yeah, of course, because when you ask me actual technical questions that sound like things I should have learned in culinary school, I remember that I didn't go to culinary school. What I'm going to say in a non-technical term, just from my gut instinct, is chowder, for me at least, normally involves potato It's like a hearty soup. It's not like a bisque or a creme de.
It's a chunky soup.
It's a chunky, stodgy. Usually there's some form of cream in it. I don't think I've ever made a chowder that doesn't have a
What about a
cream-based-
Manhattan clam chowder?
Yeah, Manhattan clam chowder seems to be the only chowder that throws all of the chowder rules because they're weird. They're New York. They feel that they're allowed to do that. Also, they already had a New England clam chowder. I don't see why
I don't know.
New
Yeah,
York had to
Manhattan
go.
is in New England from the last time I checked. Boozy Brit just asked, I always feel like I'm cheating when I'm using a recipe. I know that sounds silly, but it always feels like something I should just know. I think you're not alone there. I think it's a very common thing that I think a lot of people, when you first start cooking, the only way you really start cooking is by either cooking something incredibly simple, like an egg.
Eggs aren't as easy to cook as all that, though.
But I mean, I think in the end run, the ingredients are an egg,
yeah.
right?
Can you
And
pause for 1 sec? Into this, I've got about 6 pieces of bacon that I have cut up into tiny, delicious morsels of goodness. We're going to get those cooking a little bit, and then we're going to add some onions. Please continue.
yes,
Pardon me.
but the next step, once you get past those single ingredient recipes, is to start playing with the recipe. And in the end run, that's always where you're going to learn, because if you see how people are putting things together, the best part about that is once you sort of get familiar with it or get good at a recipe, you can go, well, what happens if I don't use this? Or what happens if I switch this for this?
Or, oops, I fucked that up really badly. I added way too much salt. Guess I'm not going to make that mistake again. Or whatever. Yeah. And realistically, and I'm speaking to you the way I would speak to myself, because I also always feel like I'm cheating somehow by looking for information. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. We weren't born with the knowledge of cooking embedded into our brains. There are so many different flavors, techniques, things you can do, tricks, chemistry, blah, blah, blah. Don't feel bad.
And things that people come up with every year,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And my favorite thing to do, and I think if you feel guilty about using a recipe, here's a little word of advice. Let's say we're making corn chowder.
We're making corn chowder.
Into the corn chowder.
I'm going to go back to here.
1 medium onion.
Just so some people can see what's going on in here.
Perfect. Just stuff is cooking.
This is one of my favorite smells in the whole wide world.
It's a good smell. The only thing that's missing from the smell right now is garlic.
Garlic.
But that's coming.
But onion and bacon's cooking together. That's a good pierogi base.
I was just going to finish telling Boozy Brit.
Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Thank you for the follow. So let's say we're making corn chowder. So go online, Google corn chowder, pick 3 recipes. Take a look at what's the common thread in all the recipes. Let's say it's 8 ears of corn. Okay, cool. Check 8 ears of corn. Oh, they all seem to have an onion. Groovy. I'll use an onion. Then you're going to start to see that things kind of split off and people's recipes, change a bit. Someone might add red bell pepper. Someone might add cheese. Then I think it just becomes a question of, okay, well, what do you want yours to taste like? Do you like bell pepper? Maybe you hate bell peppers. Okay, screw that. Take it off the list. And then on one hand, you're kind of building your own recipe-ish, if you like to lie to yourself a bit, like I do, based on just amassing knowledge from a couple of other places, So if you feel guilty using a recipe, you shouldn't, but...
Come in here. I'm listening.
But just, hybrid some recipes. Just take a look at
I hit the wrong button.
That's a slippery slope that I don't know if I'm going to 100% agree. It's not lying if you believe it.
That's how you get January 6th.
I want to get on board with that, but there's a part of me that sees a danger in this line of thinking. But yeah, sure. If that's what you want to believe, go for it.
This is looking really good.
Alternative facts.
This is looking really good.
Okay, we're gonna get this, keep this going for, I don't know, maybe 5 or so more minutes. We've got, you've got butter in here, and now you've got the bacon fat rendering, so you've got some good grease in the pan, so it's not like it's gonna,
Really like this drink.
we're not burning anything here. It's all moving around here quite nicely.
And how long are you simmering this for? You're letting this...
8 to 10 minutes until your onions get nice and translucent, and your bacon's, you want it a little bit crispy.
Yeah.
The other thing too
Can I ask you a
is-
question? This is a technical question again, but I think because we have somebody who, like I said, who doesn't cook a ton.
Yeah.
one of the most common instructions is cook until the onion is translucent.
Yes.
What are we looking for when we're looking for a translucent onion? I'm going to go back overhead so people can sort of see
Well,
what you're
we're
talking
not
about.
100% there yet.
But what should we be looking for when we see a translucent onion?
Well, put me on the spot here.
No, but don't show me. Just
Well, yeah, of course. Well, if you're looking at it, I'm trying to
it shouldn't
find
be
something-
completely
It shouldn't be like,
brown.
No, but it shouldn't be opaque. You know when you cut the onions and you could like
They're
there's
white.
an opacity to them, right? This is like translucent is you start to see in here how
They feel like they're
you
becoming.
can see through them ish. Is that like do you get
Yeah,
that
I see what
all?
you're talking
Or
about. Yeah, that's perfect. You
or
put it
like-
up, put it up,
hold
put it
on,
back up. You had a
here,
great one.
You sort of have one that's a
Yeah.
little bit more translucent.
Here,
than
let me get
other,
the. Yeah, I think
and then
I'm going to come
you've
back
got
with
that
the.
guy over.
I'm going to come back with the fly cam so we can see. Show me some translucency. Get translucent for me.
Here.
Here, let's see what we get for
So we've
trans.
got that one's not so translucent.
This is not. Hang on.
However, hold on.
Okay, that one's
Okay,
not
hold on,
translucent.
let me see if I can.
It's becoming
find a guy
translucent.
in here.
I mean, it's hard to ask you to show me when we're not quite at the
Yeah,
translucent
we're
stage.
getting there.
We're getting there. So it's
You see
becoming-
how
it's
like-
becoming
but
clear.
This is a good example because here you've got opacity there
Yeah,
and less opacity.
yeah. So it's
There.
starting to come into something.
And as like, here's the deal, my friendlies, from your sweaty Betty friend over here. You can always add, but you can't take away, and I mean that with heat as well. Like, if you go in full guns blazing too hot, you're gonna burn all the stuff that's in here. Take your time. Better to take an extra 2 minutes to cook these onions
Yeah.
and bacon than to, crank the heat to high hell and ruin everything. We don't want to do that.
Britt was just saying that one thing he struggles with is knowing exactly how long to cook something for. Now, I will say, if you're following a recipe, the guidelines of the recipe should be okay. Though I will say I've come across so many recipes that they said this, but because of something like, for instance, the temperature in a room or what have you, it hasn't been that. I like what you just said, though, about easing back a little bit on temperature than in certain cases, especially when you're sautéing.
Yeah, if you're searing meat, different story,
Yeah.
100%.
But again, I find follow a couple of good recipes. If you really want to learn to cook, and I think this is a great place to start. And I think for somebody if you want to follow along on a video, YouTube, Chef John is probably one of my favorite chef videos. His recipes are delicious. I've made many of them following exactly along to what he said.
Plus,
I
he's
got pretty much the
entertaining.
exact same results that he has. And he's very entertaining.
Extremely entertaining.
Chef John.
Also, if you're ever like, I hate the internet for all sorts of things, and I love the internet for all sorts of other things. And one of the things I
Pornography?
love, porn is one of the things I love the
I
internet
love it for pornography.
Also, new friends.
New friends.
In porn, but then also,
Go on, you finish your sentence and I'll. You just.
cooking times on stuff. Google is your friend. Like, if you want to know temperatures for doneness or stuff like that. Like, I was making schnitzel yesterday. I had my handy little meat thermometer out. I know that when the chicken gets to 165 on the inside, it's done. You just have to be, and I'm going to sound like such a hippy dippy, but I mean it. When you're in the kitchen, you have to be like in the kitchen. If you want to set something and forget it, make a lasagna, walk away for 45 minutes, or buy a frozen pizza or whatever. But if you want to be making stuff, you kind of have to be aware. Like, I won't put headphones in when I'm cooking because I want to hear my food. Because sometimes you can tell just by the way something sounds that all of a sudden, like, oh, that's burning, or oh, that sizzle is way too high. And if you can't hear it, you might miss it. So I recommend, like, when you're cooking, like, be in the thing. Chowder.
Okay, I'm going on with what Maria just said. She's going to say it sounds very pretty COVID, but she meant pre-COVID.
Okay.
Very pretty COVID is much more positive though, but it's boiled, so it's fine. I keep some of the boiling water after a corn dinner with the boyfriend, and the hearts of the corn we ate. The next day I make a broth with that water and the corn hearts to make a nice. And of course, what she wrote was chowder.
But then she wrote,
Chowder.
Chowder.
Chowder. Say it, Frenchie.
Say it, Frenchie. Chowder.
Say it, Frenchie. Chowder.
One of my favorite episodes.
That does sound like I think the corn water
Yeah.
The COVID water is what I was
COVID
about
water,
to say.
yeah.
When I make my COVID chowder.
All right, so here's the deal. This, I'm happy with this.
You're happy with that?
You want to hop overhead for one quick second?
One. Oh, let's see if it's there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Bacon is cooking up nicely. The pieces of the guys, when you cut your bacon, also keep in mind some of it's super meaty when you're chopping through it, and some of it's like mega fatty. I like to make sure the mega fatty bits are cut a little bit smaller so they melt into the thing, and I keep my meaty bits. Oh baby, do I keep my meaty bits these days? But I keep my meaty bits a little bit larger in dice so that when you're actually eating the chowder, you've got some nice
meaty bits,
heft and meaty bits. I am going to turn the heat off because we have a thing to do.
Mega Fat's also my favorite Power Rangers villain.
Mega fat?
Yeah.
All right, we're just going to take this out. I'm just taking this out of the way.
Okay, moving that out of here.
Moving that out of the way.
All right, we're gonna move it right. There we are. Now it's out
That's
of the way.
fine. I've turned the heat off. That's just going to sit for a second because we have other things to get to.
Every week, like I said, we come from the land of burlesque.
We do.
Where beautiful men and women and many
And no,
all genders,
all of the peoples,
perform in their sexiest, most alluring ways. And every week we like to bring a little touch of that to our show.
we do.
And we do that by finding one sexy woman,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a sexy man, sometimes a sexy armadillo. Armadillo? Armadillo, sorry. And we have it eat some food.
For all of
1 minute.
1 minute.
So ladies, gentlemen, stir crazies everywhere.
And everybody in between
A sexy woman
eats food
for 1 minute. Chef duy-an!
Duy-an was in the sexy woman this week.
Oh, hang on a second. Wait a second. Wait. What did you just say?
Chef Duy-an was in the sexy woman this week.
That's what she said.
Thank you, Chef Duy-an, for feeding me Jello.
He's not here this week on the show. He is off at Jello U.
Feeding someone else Jello.
He's at Jello U, or as they call it, Jello. And he is, he's learning a very important part of the Jello trade. He's doing some specialized courses in wobble.
And wobble.
In wobble.
Okay.
So he's going to have some wobble.
Thanks. Thanks, Mama Mo. All right.
All right.
Back into the chowder.
Back to the chowder.
Because, hey.
Hey.
That's cool. All right, give me a second.
Oh, that went away for a second. So I'm going to head back to here.
He's going to go there. I'm going to, shake my titties at you for 1 second. And
I have no problem with any of this. This is never done this before. It's driving me crazy that it started doing it now.
El Diablo, what are we doing next? Well, friends, we're going to make a roux. So over here I have a 1/4 cup of flour that I'm going to put into my bacon fat and oil, and I'm going to just get that all, I want to absorb all the fat, basically.
I'm coming over there. We're going to see it now.
Okay, hold on.
Look at that.
It's not gonna, because we've got the bacon and onion in here, it's not making a roux the same way, you'd normally make a roux if you were just using butter and flour, but we want to get this coated. It's It's kind of the same way when I do my clam chowder. I do the bacon and onions, and we get some flour on there. And to this, I am adding, I have 2 cloves of garlic in here. I'm going to go in with about half of what I had. I can test in a minute. We'll see what it smells like. If we want to add some more garlic. If you absolutely need like serious garlic flavor in your chowder.
I like garlic in my chowder. I like garlic in my everything, though.
See?
Yeah, I really.
That's how you know. When the hubby says, I like it, then I'll just add some more. That's cool.
But again, but do you like it? I don't do that.
I do like it. I do like it. I was just, you know.
I don't ever think. I'm very uncomfortable when you say that if the hubby says it.
Oh, no. I like it too, but I also, when I'm cooking, you know, for people other than myself, if somebody likes a specific thing, I'm very happy normally to add that ingredient. Cool. Also, it was a pinch. I added an extra. So realistically, I didn't do you such a favor.
All right, that's fine. Don't do me such a favor.
I didn't do you such a big favor. Okay, so we got that going, and here's the deal. Can I have? I will go.
What would you like?
This sentence.
Okay.
No. In this pot, I have 5 cups of chicken stock. You guys can use veggie stock if you want. I very rarely use veggie stock unless I am cooking for veggie people. I just like the flavor provided by chicken stock. It's a personal thing. And we're whisking this in because we don't want the flour that's now covering our bacon and our onions to get all like gloopy and weird in our soup, right? So when I'm, in a second, when I'm done with the 2 pots, the whisk and whatever, we'll go back overhead.
We are overhead right now.
Oh, we are overhead.
We're overhead.
So what I'm trying to do is anywhere I see something that looks like lumpy or like gruely, give it a little whisk.
You want to break up that a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want like flour style dumplings in your soup. So we're gonna.
Boozy Brit has a question for you. It is, I go fishing a lot. Do you think it would be easy to make this dish or something similar over a camping stove? Soups over a camping stove are actually fantastic. If you're going traditional propane-based camping stove, or even on a grill plate over a fire, this kind of thing. The only difference with a grill plate on a fire is you can't control the heat as much, so you got to know how to move to get your temperatures.
And if you're worried about not necessarily knowing how long to cook stuff for, that would be a bigger concern for me with you cooking over an open flame, is that you can't control that heat.
But if you're on a camping stove that you can control the heat, not a problem at all.
Yeah. The other great thing with soup, for the most part, cream soup a little bit less, because dairy doesn't certain dairy doesn't freeze well. But like, you can make this stuff, whack it in your freezer, and then before you go camping, you know, take it out and just, you know, freeze. I freeze my soups in mason jars. You know,
That's what definitely for camping. This is a great one. Make a head, put it in a jar, freeze it, bring it with you.
And it's so funny. The other, I think so. The garlic I'm not going to do again, because now if I add garlic to this, it's not going to cook properly.
Oh, that's fair. You don't.
And I don't want raw garlic in our soup.
Saute.
The other one.
You want saute. My mother made a point. We always did do clam chowder when we went down to Birch Bay, and we would go, because where we would go camping was right on the Pacific, and we'd go clamming. You get the clams right out of the bay,
water?
out of the bay. This bay was made of birch, and boom, stick them in her mouth. Well, not right away, but you know.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this up in temperature a tiny little bit. Give me 1 second. Disappearing for a moment.
I have heard that it rains in England. I'm from Vancouver originally, where it rains more. So, yes, you can do this. It's actually this is a good camping kind of thing to make.
Where in the UK?
And especially if you go fishing, what's nice with this is you could add, if you catch some fish, you add fish to this. Bone your fish.
Where's the button? I can't find the button.
Oh, sorry.
That's what she said.
Bone your fish.
And I was wondering what happened there for a second. And add the fish to this as well, so you get this nice seafood chowder or fish chowder. I love a good fish chowder.
So I need to know where in the UK.
Where in the
Where in England?
Where in England are you? We've both been there.
I've lived in Birmingham back in 2001, and I lived at Oxford in 1999.
Yes. Yeah. And I've toured there.
Maureen, your mother says it doesn't rain in Vancouver anymore.
No,
I am praying for you guys to get some rain.
It doesn't rain in
some
Vancouver
relief.
anymore.
Like, it's terrible.
It's too much on fire.
London, the center of the world.
London,
darling.
I love London.
I love London too.
Such a good city.
The best.
Brr-pa-pa-pa-pow.
Expensive AF, but worth every penny.
It's fair.
So we're just getting this up in temperature. So I'm gonna kick it up a tiny bit. Last thing we're gonna add for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Could you do me one small favor, my
Yes,
love?
darling.
In the bowl over there's some potatoes in water. Can you
Yes.
just strain them and
Strain that
pass
out?
me the
Not a
bowl?
problem, Angel.
And then in the side fridge over there are some corn niblets. Yes, so expensive. I remember back in I think it was 2001, my mom came to see me. We went to London. We had lunch, somewhere in Covent Garden, so it was already expensive and touristy and whatever. And I think we had 2 drinks and 2 appetizers. And when the bill came, she looked at it and she did the conversion in her head, and the woman almost died. She was like, I just spent $100 and something for nachos and 2 beers. And I was like, yeah, oh well, but yay, London. All right, once we get this boiling, which is imminent, we're gonna add a bay leaf. I have to do some research on the bay leaf. I don't really understand why they're
Just want to make sure that was still working.
why they're so essential to everything, because they don't really smell.
No, the bay leaf does change things.
Understood, but some spices you open them up and right away it's like a nose invasion, right? This is it's very subtle, but it's required in 90% of soups, stocks, and sauces, and I find this interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to take my manky spoon and stick it in here for a sec.
Manky spoon. That was my favorite.
Is that your nickname in high school?
Yeah.
To this, I've got some dry thyme that I'm adding. About half a teaspoon. I'm going to knock my bay leaf in there. I have a pound of Yukon Gold potatoes cubed up.
Yukon Gold, a nice waxy yellow potato.
Yellow tater. And in this bowl,
Get these 2. Don't want to miss these 2
don't
potatoes.
miss those 2 taters. I have a metric fuck ton of corn. No, I have 8 ears of corn that I've taken off the cob.
Oh, did that just die?
Oh.
Okay, there you go.
It's okay.
It's all right, we go here.
We're just gonna get that in there. Hold on.
Hang on.
That's what she said.
There you go.
There we are.
And we're gonna stir this all together. We're gonna add a little salt and Cambodian cam pot pepper because it is really my fave. Plus, I still have some from our trip to Cambodia, and we like that.
Okay, I'm getting a temperature warning on this.
Well, then maybe just turn that off. I was about just turn that off. Everything in here is overheating. It's not just us and my underboob.
Yeah, I'll just bring this over here so we can see what's going on.
All right. I have, unfortunately, pardon me, if you guys were eating dinner at the house, I would not stick my fingers directly in the soup, but you're not, so I can. So there's our little bay leaf. This is pretty hearty. Don't worry, the texture will change. We are gonna wait for this to come up to a mini boil, and then I'm gonna take the temperature down and we're gonna simmer it for about 20-ish minutes-ish. Let me just put these back over here.
Oh, it's lovely. It's looking good.
Well, it's looking like it wants to, I just want it to come up to temp so I can turn it down. It's so hot.
Yeah.
But il y a des bulles. Ça commence à éblouir.
That's doing that. I'm just going to move this over here. There we go.
8 years, not 8 years. 8.
8 ears.
8
Oreille.
years of corn. Oreille. 8 oreilles. No,
Huit
I don't
oreilles.
know if we say oreille de maïs in French. Audrey, are you there? Somebody.
Oh,
Marie-Ève.
Marie-Ève.
What is a unit de maïs en français?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It was chicken stock. 5 cups of it.
5 cups of chicken stock.
Une unité de maïs. Une oreille de
Un
maïs.
foie.
Une fois maïs.
Un pièce.
Un morceau.
Un morceau. Marcel
No, but
Marceau?
I would assume
Un morceau
but
de Marcel Marceau?
I'm assuming a morceau de maïs is like a
Like
niblet.
a
It's
niblet.
not like an ear of corn.
is there no French? There's no French word for niblet. There should niblet.
Niblet is not. It doesn't. That's not a nice sounding French word.
Un blé d'Inde.
Okay, but I always thought that blé d'Inde and maïs were like interchangeable. Is it like un blé d'Inde, like one piece of corn? Explique-moi ça.
And what is a niblet?
Épi. An
Épi.
épi de maïs or an épi is a niblet? Come on, guys, you gotta help me out.
This is
We're not having an actual conversation. You gotta be un grain de blé d'Inde.
okay. That's a niblet.
A niblet.
Un grain de blé d'Inde.
Then.
So Indian wheat is corn.
Indian wheat is corn, yes. Épice de maïs is an ear.
What?
Épi de maïs.
Oh, what?
Épi de maïs.
Épice de maïs. My soul.
Yeah,
That's my new burlesque name. Épice de maïs.
Épice de maïs. Épi de maïs.
No.
Épice.
Épice de maïs.
Épice is a spice.
Yeah.
So,
A spice of corn.
a spice of corn?
Épice de maïs.
But no one says that here. See, this is the reason why Anglophones get confused.
It's fun to learn, though.
And
I
why us bilingual people just stay drunk.
I like the fact that I'm learning French right now, and I get to ask you questions. And what it makes me very confident is how little sometimes you know.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Fancy.
You just interrupted the middle of my whole conversation.
Just show people my underboots.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm done.
I'm sorry. I saw the shadow over there, and I was like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
How frequently
No,
people hear?
it's not-
Yes, please. I apologize. I just was disgusted.
What
with
I was
myself
trying
and
to
have
actually
share.
say was that I like the fact I'm learning French right now, and one of the nice parts about learning French is I ask you a lot of questions and find out how little you know. So I feel okay.
Fine. That makes you feel better.
No, but I mean, it's in what I feel as somebody who's been here, who speaks it fluently. It's when I go, it's a complicated language. I don't understand certain things. I don't feel like I'm stupid because I'm missing something. I feel that somebody who's fluent in it still has questions about it. Not that that made it sound like you were stupid. It didn't. It made it sound like you're smart because I'm
smart.
No, I think I'm smart, so that somebody who I consider smarter than me about it is having an issue with it.
It's also confusing because, there's any language. There's the grammar and
Yes.
all of the stuff that they teach you in school, and then there's the actual way we proceed,
To speak it.
in the street. And then, especially with French, you have dialects of Quebecois French and France French that are different.
Yeah.
And then you add, especially in Montreal where we're so multicultural, you add in Algerian French, Creole French, all sorts of, and then
Acadian French.
Acadian French, and it's like, okay, what the F is going on?
Yeah,
So,
Busy Brett is saying, I like that his show me it's hot without telling me it's hot. Épluchette de blé d'Inde.
Épluchette de blé d'Inde as a party is an interesting concept, though. Okay, we'll talk about that.
What is épluchette?
Ask Mariette. My brain is too hot. All right, so I've turned this down.
You've turned it down.
I'm going to set a
You
little...
said no more.
I said no more.
Turn it down.
And I'm going to turn the timer on for 20 minutes.
You're going to turn that timer on? So while that is simmering...
And I am just going to excuse myself for not...
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we both excuse ourselves in a second, because it's time to listen to some lovely music, I think. While we're waiting for 20 minutes, I wanted something very corny. Actually, I'm going to get the switch button so I can get near the buttons.
Is that my whiskey?
I hit the wrong button. That's not what I want. But here's the recipe for the
our last
Mayday
cocktail.
Martini again. Hang on, I'm just going to get rid of that.
What is happening?
What's happening? There we are. Sorry. Every week we like to showcase some music. For a few years, I performed with two amazing performers, Pinot Noir and Shai Shuli, and we created a show based on our group, the Main Three, where we did a burlesque show where we sang the entire show
Live.
and sang it live while people came out and did burlesque. It was one of the most incredibly fun shows I've ever been part of. And then the three of us would also put on numbers. And you actually helped us choreograph as loosely as we could choreograph.
I'm going to call it walkiography.
Our opening number of one of our first shows, and this is it. So in a very corny way,
This is the main three.
Put your hands together. Chez vous. Pour le
For
main
Shy
three.
Shay Shuli.
Pinot Noir. And the Divine Dandy.
And a
The
little bit
main
of
three.
style.
Pinot Noir! Oh, hang on. What is this?
What are you wearing?
Are you climbing through the Alps?
Quoi?
What is this? Are you going climbing through the Alps? What is happening?
I didn't
here?
know Fern was back in school.
What is it? Did you rob a dwarf? What's going on?
Hey, allez. Look, you called me up.
Ouais.
You bring me all the way from Paris.
Ouais.
Au moins le 21e arrondissement de Paris, le plateau, Montréal.
Ouais.
And I come all the way from Métro Laurier, là, and and you say to me, Pinot, we need you to represent, the classic Las Vegas.
Yes.
Ah, I say, it's perfect, American, ugly, vulgar, awful,
This is why nobody likes the French.
you
Not
like
the
our-
French,
This
but
is not
Parisians.
Vegas.
We can all agree
This
on
is not
Parisians.
Vegas.
No, this is like Mad Men, but like Midsummer Night's
No, this is
Dream.
no. I literally planted some roses near him earlier this evening. No, Pinot, this is not right. This is not. No, you need to have a modicum of what is it? Elegance, maybe.
Debonair.
I can't say it properly. I know. Perhaps. you
Perhaps
could
is
just
a word
sing
for
it
it.
properly.
Ah, bien.
Oh,
Mr.
Wow, that's a good one. Oh, that's very good. Your
I
introduction
did that
was
so perfectly.
on point. Very good.
Now let me explain. Some people get dressed because they like to get dressed.
I like to get dressed.
But you just get dressed to get dressed.
This is technically
it's
correct.
only a hunch, but I bet you a bunch.
I agree.
He wears suspenders, a belt, and a vest.
Yep.
I have a lot to hold up.
From the tip of your toes to your head, you look like an unmade bed.
Well, that's the best kind.
You've either got or you haven't got style.
If you've got it, just stand out a mile.
A flower's not a flower if it's wilted.
A hat's not a hat till it's tilted. You've either got or you haven't got class.
How it draws the applause of the masses.
When you wear lapels like the
Swellest of swells, you can pass any mirror and smile. You've either got or you haven't got.
Got or you haven't got.
Got or you haven't got style. Now get out of here and go get some
All right,
style.
time to get some.
You've either got or you haven't got
Got or you
style.
haven't got style.
How it goes on for miles.
Goes on for miles.
With mother of pearl kind of buttons.
He looks like the Astors and Hattons. You've either got or you haven't got.
Got or you haven't got class.
How it draws the applause of the
Draws the applause of the masses. When you wear lapels like the swellest of swells, you can pass any mirror
and
smile.
You've
Ladies and gentlemen, Pinot Noir.
got
Style you haven't got style.
style and charm seem to go arm in
Seem to go on and on.
A flower's not a flower if it's wilted. You're so right. A hat's not a hat till it's tilted.
Either got or you haven't got style.
You haven't
the timing wrong.
Oh no!
I can go back. I'll go back and get the ending in there.
How are you gonna do that?
Oh, because I'll do this.
What are you gonna do?
Pinot Noir!
Anything God, where those dogs with the wild kind of studs. Watch the dogs lining up, single file.
You be the God, or you haven't got.
Find anything God, or you
Pinot
haven't
Noir.
got. God, or you haven't got. God, or you haven't got.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Pinot Noir,
Ah, there we go. Now you got the ending in there. There we are.
There we
the main
go, the
three.
main
Aren't
three.
they just wonderful?
You are. I miss them.
They were fun to do.
I miss the before times.
So
Sometimes.
We'll make some after times.
Sometimes I miss the before times.
Would you like another drink? I
Oh.
think it's hot, and the second drink that I'm going to make,
It's gonna be cool.
some cool iced tea.
I dig it. Let's bring it
You
on.
want to grab me the ice bucket?
I can.
And I will quickly bring this up. Because what we're going to make is what we're calling the Easy Bourbon Iced Tea. Bourbon, of course, is the greatest of all of the corn alcohols. But this is a very classic, simple recipe. Two things go to make this, though, really, really special. One is brewing your own sweet tea. So this is a sweet tea. All this is about 10 tea bags and about a cup of sugar.
Okay.
To, let's say, probably a liter or 2 quarts of water. Or quart of water? How much is a liter?
4 cups.
4 cups. How much is a quart?
I don't know. I function in liters.
4 cups of water. And I let that sit. A cup of sugar and about a quarter cup of honey.
Okay. Oh, that really sweet tea.
It's sweet tea. And once that's sort of done, I brought that down to temperature. I added a little bit of cranberry juice and a little bit of lemonade.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a nice, sweet, refreshing, juicy tea. If you have peaches, this would be beautiful. Or peach juice, peach nectar. The other thing that's going to go into making this delicious is a little limoncello, a sweet lemon liqueur. This is going to really elevate this drink. So,
I drank my way through Italy, drinking Aperol, limoncello, and so much wine.
limoncello, if you haven't really partaken in the limoncello, it's a delicious thing. So we are going to do 2 ounces of our bourbon.
I'm going to bring your recipe back up just for 2 seconds.
Bring it up here. So 2 ounces of bourbon. And I'm building, you'll notice this one, building right in the glass. I'm going to really build this right into the glass. To this, I'm going to add half an ounce. Come back here. Of our limoncello. Boom. Boom. There we go. What?
I drank my way through Slovakia and they don't mess around there. Yeah, I can imagine.
Now, I'm adding to this a dash of Peychaud bitters. This is going to give it sort of that New Orleans quality, a little bit of bitter orange. It's going to brighten the flavors up a little bit. And we're going to add ice to this right away. And we are going to, oh, where did I lost my stirry.
You lost your stirry.
I lost my stirry. Here's my stirry. And we are going to stir both of these. I want to get this nice and chilled.
Oh, do I get to do another stirring dance?
You can do another stirring dance if you
Stirring
want.
dance.
Actually, oh, you put that away. I wanted that out. Still wasn't sure if I was
Hold
going
on,
to add
I'm
one
going to
more.
go back. I'm going to go back.
You go back,
to
stir
the-
back, stir back, stir back, stir back. I want to do that one. Well, that one's sort of doing this. The key in this one is when you're doing 2, is you want to get the momentum going on 1 so that it will stay rotating while you click over to here. And while that's rotating, you switch back. And then while that's rotating, you switch back.
Oh, you can't just get too ambidextrously going.
Well,
at the same
I
time?
only have one spoon.
Oh, I'll get you another spoon.
Well, it's too late for that.
I mean, one.
There we are. So now that that's brought down, we're going to just top this off.
Can I put this away now?
This is you can go on there. We'll top this off with about, I think it says about four to 6 ounces. I'm just going to top it up. This is a drink. And the other thing that we're going to do, right here. There.
Boo.
And we're just going to add in, oops.
That's fine. I don't mind if
There.
mine sits inside. They are so good. Quebec strawberries. Go and buy them before they're all gone. Because the ones that we get for the rest of the year that are those weird US GMO ones, no one likes those. Quebec strawberries.
I'm going to go with that on there.
Oh,
I'm just
beautiful.
going to go overhead.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful
if it's
drink.
working. If not,
Nope. Look, it's
magic. It made
exactly
a
like soup. Here we are. Let's do it this way.
oh,
Go
salutations,
to 3. Go to
Baron
3.
Bonstick. Go to 3. Go to 3. Go to 3.
Here we are.
There
Look
we go.
at this.
Look at that prettiness.
Beautiful little drink.
Good morning, Baron.
Now this, go back to 1. There we
Stream
are.
is buffering a lot for me. I'm not sure if it's on your end.
Sometimes it's again we're in the country. Sometimes that can be. It's also hot, which can make it a little bit. But here we go. This is the Easy Bourbon Iced Tea. Oh yeah. In fact, I'm going to add a little bit more of that just to bring a little sweet back in.
That's good.
Yeah.
I prefer of the two. I like this. This is lovely, and I can't wait to attack the actual iced tea after the show because I'm so hot. But I think I prefer the martini. The martini
really?
was really good.
That martini was delicious.
But I like the flavors in this. I love a good bourbon iced tea. That's why it's one of my favorite.
Yeah, it's.
I think those actually should be cut down. Actually, bring down the bourbon up a smidge. Maybe go 1.5 ounces of bourbon, then 2. But
Where
I
is
like
it? I think it's Ice House in Montreal that does a most delicious bourbon lemonade for the summer. Very, very good.
Very good.
Very, very good.
I'm going to put that back.
I'm just going to give this soup a stir here.
Stir your soup.
Aw, boo. Well, hang out with us if you can, Lizzie Britt. And if not, we're here every Wednesday.
There you are.
Come on back. And you can always watch the episode on our YouTube channel after we're done.
Just checking the feed to make sure everything's, everything seems to be doing all right over here. Okay, cool. There we are.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, Bloodshot. That's nice. I'm wondering if this is, that was Idris Elba. Have you seen the Suicide Squad? Excellent film.
Oh,
Speaking of Corny.
Yeah, but such an entertaining, like I have not been like that
was a fun
genuinely
movie.
entertained by a movie, and like granted,
Yeah.
I was pretty stoned the whole time.
I
but
think
like,
it suits. It's really
but-
made to be.
dude, smoke a fat joint and watch the new Suicide Squad. It is
Much fun.
2 hours and some of good times.
I think it's normalized.
What's normalized?
Aye.
Oh, your stream. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
smoking weed? It's legal here.
Yeah.
Duh.
Excellent. Oh, everybody. It's so much fun today. You want to play a silly game?
Let's play a game.
This is usually, if you haven't been with us before, I like to do a lot of games where I create questions, trivia games. We did our office quotes game last week.
We're asking where we're from. Montreal.
Montreal. Well, technically,
La Belle.
we're in La Belle, Quebec,
Near
Canada.
Mont-Tremblant.
Near Mont-Tremblant, but we're in Quebec, Canada.
Canada.
Bloodshot is in. Bloodshot, where are you?
Where are
Are
you?
you in Cali?
I do love me some Cali.
Who does not like Cali? Cali's a good place.
Cali is a good place.
Oh, the place. I thought you meant the person. Never mind. Okay, cool. Yeah, good place too. No, but this week I decided to go something a little bit different.
Okay.
Because it's a corny episode, I decided to go and find the corniest dad jokes I could find.
Okay.
So you've got 3 things you have to figure out today. One is, do you know the ending?
Okay.
If you know the ending, you win.
Okay.
All right? The other thing is, I had 3. The second part is, if you laugh,
You win. I
laugh.
lose.
You can't laugh.
Can't laugh.
So
Okay.
if these make you laugh, Don't laugh.
Okay.
No laugh
All
challenge.
right.
And finally, there was another one. Since I can't remember what I was about to say,
Fuck it.
hell with it.
All right, cool.
If I remember, it'll be good.
Shout out New York.
Ah, New York.
I miss my bi-monthly trips to New York so much.
All right,
let's play
so
it.
this is a game.
Where I'm not allowed to laugh. I have to know all the answers, and then we forgot the third rule. Yeah?
And the third rule
Perfect.
is
Perfect. This sounds like a fully legit game.
if you have a better answer,
Bring it on.
you win.
Sounds
So this is a game we're calling Corny Jokes.
corny jokes. Okay.
Corny Jokes. So the first corny joke, the setup. Oh, wait, where did it go? Here we are. Here we are. Corny joke. First corny joke. Oh,
What is happening?
so many buttons are falling
Not
apart.
buttons.
There we are. First corny joke. How did Harry Potter get down the hill? Hey, Elle.
Yeah, Dan?
How did Harry Potter get down the hill?
I don't know.
Walking. JK. Rolling. I can laugh because I love stupid jokes, and that's a great stupid joke.
Yeah, but I get no points if I laugh.
I
So
know.
do I get a 1 point for not laughing?
You get 1 point for not laughing.
I'm not really keeping track, but
1 point, you didn't laugh. All right? Walking. JK. Rolling.
Ha ha ha.
Next joke. Hey, what's the best thing about Switzerland? Hey, Elle.
Yeah, Dan?
What's the best thing about Switzerland?
I don't know. What is the best thing about Switzerland?
I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. Come on! What are you, dead inside? That's a great joke. I don't know, but the flag's a big plus.
I got it. I just didn't laugh.
Because maybe you don't understand.
Because the flag is like
okay,
a...
you understood. You
Oh,
understood.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay,
Cool.
Thank you, Baron. My thoughts exactly.
Hey, Elle.
Yeah, Dan?
Why do seagulls fly over the ocean?
I don't know.
Haha, you don't know? You don't know why seagulls fly over the ocean?
I don't know.
Because if they flied over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Wah, wah.
Bagels are a thing you eat. They're like donuts, only less exciting.
3 points for me.
I made Maria laugh. The Switzerland. Look at that.
Okay, but Baron, what I want to know is that LOL with an accident
Lola.
in it, or is that lol? Because that would make me laugh.
Lola.
No, lol.
Yeah, she was a showgirl,
lo.
I heard.
No, like LOL, lo.
I get it.
Beta.
Hey, Elle.
Yeah, Dan?
Why can't you hear the psychiatrist in the bathroom? Using the bathroom.
Because he has a silent P.
You are correct, because the P is silent. Aww. Lola. Hey, Audrey. Ah, so good.
Oh, I'm so smart and I don't laugh.
Hey, Elle.
5 points for Elle.
Hey, Elle.
Yeah, Danny?
If you see a crime at the Apple store, what does it make you? That's your thinking music. Hey, Elle, if you see a crime at the Apple store, what does that make you?
Apple seed?
An eyewitness.
I got the wrong answer, but I didn't laugh. 6 points for Elle.
An apple seed?
I seeded at the Apple store.
Nice. Oh, nice. And finally, Elle.
Yeah, Dan.
What country's capital is growing the fastest?
Thailand?
Why?
Bangkok.
Ireland, because it's Dublin every day. Boom!
My joke was better.
That's Corny Joe!
I win so many points for not laughing and no points for being smart. Yay!
I like how we switch out of that, like it's a whole different set. It's just us standing there without the... It's very anticlimactic.
I found it most climactic. But only a little stitious.
Ah!
That's what she said.
See, I am capable of laughing. I'm not actually dead inside. I just had to put my game face on. All right, so that thinking music also meant that this chowder
Not Chowder.
this chowder is ready for phase next. Right
Phase
now,
next.
I'm just going to leave this here.
Yep.
Thankfully, my little bay leaf
Standing to the top.
is right at the top, so I'm just going to take this guy out because we really only need him to flavor, and then he can fuck off. Now,
Hey, Bailey. Hit the road, Jack.
okay, so what we're going to do, hold on, I'm over here.
Audrey said we kept the button.
Yes, we
That's
kept the
what she
button because, like, how good is that button? I've got my crazy, what's this guy called? The ninja bullet here.
The ninja.
Ninja dude. Ninja, cut your
Call me
fingers off.
Ninja.
Pardon me for a second. If you have never used your ninja, but you have purchased a ninja, this blade is deadly. Be so careful while you're washing it, drying it. I have like cut my hands to shit just trying to clean this machine. However, it's an incredible blender. So I'm taking out 2.5 cups of this soup. I am sticking it in my blender.
But why, Elle?
Because remember,
But why, Elle?
because Danny, remember when Mary-Eve was talking about making corn stock before with her corn water and her corn cores or bones or corn centers or whatever? This is basically what I'm going to do. We're going to use this to a certain degree to thicken the soup, but also to take some of the chunk out of the soup and replace it with liquid. So if you could come back here for a sec, because I have to blend over there. I'm going to blend.
I'll blend in.
You blend in.
I'll blend down. Lay down.
Blend in?
I'll blend in.
I'll blend in. You know what? It always helps when you plug the appliances in. It's usually a helpful scenario.
Audrey says she uses her ninja every day. His name is duy-an. Duy-an V Superman. So while we're blending over here, shall we go and take a look at our blending? Hey gang, let's go look at some blending. Oop. That was the wrong button. So as you can see, we're just blending it over there, getting a little bit of... What is that giving you?
Like I just said, actually, while you had walked away.
I heard it,
I
but-
explained it. This is giving us...
I was asking you to repeat it.
I'm taking out some of the actual chunkiness of the soup and replacing it with now a liquefied version.
So this is almost a cream.
So this
for
is
it.
like I have creamed. That's what she said. So
Oh, wait, hang on.
I've
That's
creamed
what she
some of
said?
my soup.
That's what she said?
And now, so I've taken some of the chunkiness out and replaced it with some pureed
Goodness.
version. Oh, okay, hold on. This is very hot, and please. I'm just trying to move this without you in my peripheral with extra
I'm in your peripheral either way.
extra things. Okay, so we are almost done here, friendlies. But what we're going to do, I just have to nip to the fridge for 1 second.
Oh, you're nipping away?
I'm nipping away.
Well, while she nips, I will stand here and get that going. Thank you very much for our commenting on our transitions. That was very nice of you.
Excuse me.
I'm hitting buttons by accident
me.
now.
Excuse me.
Oh, this is going on. I'm hitting
Snip, snap,
5
snip,
buttons.
snap, snip, snap.
Thank you for your comments on my transitions.
Yes,
as I
Audrey, this
go-
is the corn chowder, so you could actually eat what you
That
have
was
in
the
your
middle of a
house.
sentence, by the
Sorry.
way.
Into this, I'm putting a cup of. I'm using 15% cream. The recipe says half and half. You can use milk.
10% is
You
half and
can
half?
use, if you want milk, you can use milk. If you're a vegan, I can't help you. That's your problem.
But again, I think any of the nut milks are the...
Just be careful because nut milk tends to have a certain flavor, I find. So you want to definitely make.
But again,
sure
I think
you're
you
not
go. I think
using-
you go into that with though. If you're used to the, I think there are people who tell me that cow's milk has a flavor.
Cow's milk does have a flavor. It tastes like all sorts of rum, but
It tastes like wonderful to me.
I don't think
I
so.
drink I
I'm
like.
sure if we were baby cows, it would taste phenomenal.
Well, maybe I am. Maybe I'm part baby cow.
All right, so I'm just going to, as per the norm.
I've been told I'm really good.
Are you really good? That's so corny.
Ah ha ha! J.K. Rowling.
All right, let me just have a taste of this.
You have a taste of that? Is it good?
Okay, the recipe also calls for honey. I don't feel like this needs honey. I don't want my soup to be super sweet. We are married. It needs a little salt.
Yeah, I put a little bit of salt, but that's delicious. That's really good. And it doesn't need much salt. The bacon has got a lot of salt in it.
Exactly.
Mmm.
And I don't know if they've lost Britt or Britt's still with us. This is
was
the
that
kind
Mr.
of
Britt?
thing that
No, that's bloodshot.
that's the kind of thing that, you know, again, when we're talking about proportions and trying stuff out, if you know, for example, that your recipe calls for soy, soy's full of sodium.
Yeah.
If you know your recipe calls for bacon, bacon's full of sodium.
Parmesan.
So, Parmesan also full of sodium. So, you know, I would always rather go back with salt 3 times to make sure that I haven't over salted than to just dump like, you know, a whack of salt in there and be sadly disappointed that I've wasted the last hour of my life just to screw it up in the last 2 minutes. So, and a little pepper.
A little pepper. I will never turn down a little pepper. I think it's
If you are a cheese fanatic, as I am, and as Danny is, you can top this with a little cheddar cheese, a
When you
little
serve
grated
it?
cheddar when you serve it. You can throw some chives in here if you're growing chives in your backyard, on your balcony, whatever. This is corn chowder, my friends, and we're done. Like, this is it.
We're going to let it sit and combine for a little bit. We are what? Oh, we have literally finished the show. Actually, we haven't finished the show. We have one thing left to do.
We got some other stuff to do, but I'm going to add a little tiny bit more salt.
You add a bit more salt. Oh, hey. Hi, Tainux. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. We're making some corn chowder. If you don't believe us,
anybody
let me
wants,
just get a little shot of the corn chowder.
There we go.
There's some nice corn
We're
chowder.
chowdering that up. It's so warm.
Lovely. Along with a nice a bourbon lemonade, a
That's
bourbon iced tea.
Honestly, because we were talking about fishing and camping earlier, this is a great meal for if you're like out at a campsite somewhere and it's a little bit chilly in the evening, you got the fire going.
It is.
Like I could eat soup every day because I'm a weirdo.
And
like
again,
that.
I think in the summer it still works because again, it brings up your body temperature.
And then you sweat it out, and
You
it actually
sweat it out, and
cools
it
you
cools
off.
off around the thing.
So, the other thing you could do with this, if you weren't doing it at a campsite or whatever, is you can put this, because I used to try to be really thin and healthy, and then COVID happened, and now I'm like, fuck it, eat all the good food, enjoy all the flavors. That in a bread bowl as a meal would be like, that's it. You just need the soup in the stodgy bread bowl. You just cut a little hole in your little bread, or like a pretzel bowl.
In all fairness, and again, I as you can tell, I like to keep it tight. You shouldn't need to laugh that hard.
It was
that hard.
No, it was the presentation. It was I like to keep it toy. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think the bread bowl overdone when it comes to chowder. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think I've ever had a bread bowl that I think added to the experience with a chowder. I like a bread bowl for certain things, but I think a chowder is such generally a standalone meal. It's not necessary to add that extra stuff, and I don't feel it really enhances the experience.
I'll tell you what I think. Toy like a toiger, indeed. I'll tell you where I think it helps. I don't think it needs it. It doesn't need it at all. The same way, like a good New England clam chowder could definitely.
A clam chowder? Was that with cameras?
That's when you eat it live.
That's
on the
when
internet,
you
when you're
make
naked.
it with cam girls.
No, you just
make a chowder with cam girls.
You just eat your clam chowder naked on the internet. That's clam chowder. But,
that's our other Twitch stream.
No, we don't have that. Don't.
We would have that.
Shushy.
The cam chowder.
Clam chowder. But
how is that not a Twitch stream that we don't have?
Cam Chowder, come on.
Who would watch Cam Chowder?
Cam
Actually,
Chowder?
I'm afraid.
Everybody.
I'm so afraid of.
If you don't think you'd watch Cam Chowder, you're lying. You would watch the shit out of Cam Chowder.
But can I just finish for 1 second?
I don't think so anymore.
Shit. I think the thing about the bread bowl, because I'm a huge, like I mentioned earlier, like I'm a pothead and I love munchy, tasty things. Not that non-potheads don't like munchy, tasty things, but I think the allure of the bread bowl for me is definitely more an at-home than in a restaurant. Meaning, like, okay, it's chilly outside. I can make some chowder. I can stick it in a bread bowl. I can eat the delicious chowder, and then I can sit there and like dig out like the yummy bread from the inside that's like soaked up all the shit, and then the outside is crunchy, so you get that, like, it satisfies all of the stoner mouth.
I get what you're saying. And don't get me
Necessities.
wrong. I like a piece of good bread. Sourdough is very traditional on the West Coast when you're having that, but I think also like the bread that we get up at
Bonnie Schwa.
that's my favorite bread right now. That bread would be amazing with a nice fine chowder. Heavily buttered, so you have that fattiness, and I think that's a beautiful dipping. I like the dippability.
See, and that's the irony, is I've got such weird butter paranoia because I use so much of it to cook, but like when it comes time to buttering my bread, I always feel guilty. But if there was bread that had been soaked in chowder, I would have no guilt eating that whatsoever.
See, and it's funny because we talked about the bread bowl.
Sorry, I'm hot.
You met. Oh, excuse me. Earlier, I'm burnt. I smashed my mic while I did. You made the
Pretzel bowls.
The pretzel bowls for the beer and cheddar soup.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, a heavier, stodgier soup bread bowl perfectly suited for it. I knew that was good.
It was also like the bonus. So we did that for St. Patrick's Day. I did pretzel for our food delivery. We did pretzel bowls.
Forgot to turn my mic on for the whole show.
You didn't have a mic on the whole show? It's good that your voice is so big.
Got a big mic, big voice. Well, I got that mic on too, so it's okay.
Anyway, I liked it. We did a beer and cheese soup in a pretzel bowl for
really good
our
soup.
meal delivery in on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
The bonus was it just tasted like a cheesy pretzel.
Oh no, it didn't. It was, again, a good, and especially because it had that sort of like a rare bit quality to it. You know, so it's sort of almost sharp and tangy, sour creamy almost kind of, and I really like that.
Would you like me to serve you a small bowl of chowder? Or?
I would love. Do you want me to ask you the second question?
Oh yes.
We have a second question,
let's ask
and I'm actually
people.
very excited about the second question because we have some very interesting people, and I love when we have so many people coming in from
Interesting
Twitch.
people. Answer questions.
Ready? This is question number 2, and this is a good. When we had corn, when I knew we were going into corn, there is truly one very divisive corn question. I think it's time to get political.
Uh-oh.
The question is, creamed corn, a delicious taste sensation or a horrific yellow paste goop? What do you think of creamed corn?
I can honestly tell you, in my 25 years on this planet,
Yeah?
I don't
25 years?
Yeah, 25 years.
Wait, hang on a second.
25 years.
25 years in a row?
No.
Spread out over how many years?
Some of them counted.
Spread out over.
Some of them counted for a year or two more. Some of them counted for less. But in my extremely long 25
I just
years
realized
experience-
after you said it, like about 3 beats, like, wait, did she say?
Yeah, I'm finally getting to the age where I think it's okay.
Are you lying about your age?
But I finally am getting to the age where I think it's okay to blatantly lie about my age and see how people are like, what? No.
I don't think you blatant. I think you tried to slip that
Oh
in.
no, everybody knows I'm not 25. Have you seen me? I'm 27. No.
Well, I was gonna go 23.
I don't think I've ever actually
Had a cream corn?
had creamed corn.
Really? Because to me, and this is, I love creamed corn. There is something so comforting about, and here's a weird thing. I've had very well done homemade creamed corn.
Okay, so hold on. I just want to make sure I understand this. Like creamed corn is not like the corn, like the peaches and cream corn you get in
No,
a can.
peaches and cream is a style of corn.
Okay.
Creamed corn is like a creamed spinach, but it's not got so much. Creamed spinach is just spinach
And cream cheese.
and cream cheese.
basically, and
Creamed
butter.
corn is a sweet butter corn. It's like a cream and corn
And there, you can make it, and it's very good. But what's the Jolly Green Giant guy?
Green Giant.
Green Giant. That's what's weird. They make their can of creamed corn, and to me, it's one of the most comforting comfort foods in the world.
I can legit say I don't think I've ever tasted, especially not Green Giant cream corn. Ma, if you're with,
Do we not have
sorry,
it? I think we
if
have
my
it.
mom, no, we have niblets. If my mom is watching, tell me if I've ever had cream corn because I don't think I have. Niblets for sure. Like my dad loved canned corn growing up.
I used to keep a can of creamed corn in there, but I may have eaten it.
Jamais de ma vie I've seen cream corn in my
I
house.
love creamed corn. It's a delicious. It's sort of sweet, creamy. Weirdly,
It's right there in the name.
but it is one of those things that people either absolutely love it or they absolutely loathe it.
Well, it's funny because I know we have someone from the UK watching, and I find mushy peas is that way also. Either
I love a
people
good mushy
love
pea.
a good mushy pea, or they're like, ugh, why did you mush those? I'm kind of the latter.
Why? Why did you turn to Harvey Firestein?
Why did you mush
Why did you bust these? Oh my god!
I can't help it. It's the East Coast, you and me.
Boozy Brett says, for me, the bread just brings kind of a. Oh, we're talking about the bread bowl again. Just feeling when we're home, off school, sick, and Mom used to make soup with bread. Oh,
No, it's not
Did you live
just
in the
you.
Bastille?
I did not live in the Bastille. Dude, grilled
Depends on
cheese
how
and-
it's made. Creamed corn isn't a food you find a lot in London, but when you do, it's so good, depending on how it's made. Horrific from Baron, except in shepherd pie. Oh.
Oh, see, and I use niblets in my shepherd's pie and not.
And it's
corn.
funny because I when I first made shepherd's or pâté chinois
Yeah.
for I dated a Quebecois girl in Vancouver.
You dated girls before me?
Yes, I did. They were terrible. Most of them were murderers. Some of them still are. No, but and I made pâté chinois for her for the first time. It was creamed corn that went into it.
All right.
Marie Ave says, "How do you eat creamed corn other than part of a corn mix or no? For us as a home, creamed corn would be just a side dish. You would have
Like you'd open the can, stick it in the pot.
you would heat it up, and then you
Is
would
it like mash? Is it like corn mash?
it's basically like a corn in sauce. It's I don't know how to describe it other than it's corn with a creamy gravy mixture, and it's kind of sweet.
Okay. When I thought
It's
it
delicious.
was just basically a can of niblets in a food processor made.
No,
creamy,
it's not.
That I was okay with.
No,
the
it's
second
not.
you added like gravy and shit.
Well, it's not
in
a
there,
it's a gravy. It's a cream sauce. It's a specific texture of it's a side dish, but
Okay, no
Baron
wonder,
hates the
no
texture.
wonder Baron finds it horrific.
Marie F is befuddled.
I like that you're befuddled, just
She's
because
befuddled.
it's such a good word.
It is.
Also, how was the ramen?
My mother says she puts a can of cream corn and fresh corn in her corn chowder. So she gets that sort of creamy texture through the cream corn as well.
Well, I guess, that's way easier than having to run the soup that you already made through the blender.
And in fact, what you
Smart
read...
maneuver, Maureen.
It's a sauce that's made by simmering the corn.
So I'm thinking it's got a little bit of what Mary Eve was talking about before,
Yeah.
like the idea of
But
having
it's like
corn water
it
and
comes
corn.
into this, but it comes into this sort of very... It looks like a white creamed texture.
Okay, I swear to God, I'm going to the store to
It's
buy
delicious.
I'm going to buy it
I
tomorrow,
love it.
and I might even put something on Insta as
We'll have
I
some
eat
cream
it.
corn.
I'm going to eat it.
I will
tomorrow.
introduce you to cream corn.
I'm going to have cream corn live on Instagram tomorrow.
It'd be fantastic. And I think it's great. And if you haven't had it, try it because
Just trying something
you haven't
new.
had it.
And if you're not allergic to it, there's really nothing that's going to happen that's bad. You just might not like it, and you don't ever have to have it
Unless
again.
you're allergic, you could die.
Well, that's what I just said. If you're allergic, don't do it. If
Shall
you're
we
not,
have a bowl of chowder?
we could have some chowder.
Why don't you get the bowls? I'll get the scoop.
Chowder.
The chowder scoop.
Chowder.
Scoop the chowder?
It's actually I washed the ladle. It's there somewhere.
Oh, it's in my hand.
Oh, cool.
I know where the ladle is. It's right here. She's over there. She don't know from ladles. That's why I said to you, see you ladle, lady.
I do know from ladies. Yeah, you are gonna make all the corny jokes tonight, huh? All right, so let's give this a go.
As long as you can nibble it.
Can you nibble it? I can nibble it.
Okay. Move your.
I just want that much because it's
I know,
so hot
so-
in here right now. Thank you.
There we are.
You can. Do you want some? I can grate some.
Yeah, a
cheddar
little bit
on
of grated
here.
cheese would be great
Okay,
with it.
cheddar?
Let's just, cheddar. Yeah, cheddar.
Cheddar.
Cheddar for my chowder. Chowder,
I
cheddar.
also have shredded Gouda right here.
Gouda for my chowder. Cheddar Gouda for my
Oh
chowder.
God, what is happening? Would you like?
Hello?
Can I just use the Gouda? Or
Whatever, I don't
Oh
care.
my God. Calm
Why are you
down.
asking me?
Because you're about to eat it, and I wanted to make sure that I could just use the cheese that was already
You
grated.
could be fine.
Fully
I would
reasonable.
not even notice.
Bonne soirée, Boozy Brit.
Bye, Boozy Brit. Thanks
See
for
you next
hanging out
time.
with us. That was nice. We're here every Wednesday. And see you,
See you
hopefully another
around
time.
next week. Yeah. Next week, what are we doing next week? We are doing
Well, next week is pain in the ass.
pain in the ass, a bread recipe, a bread episode.
Bread episode. A bread episode.
Because
Hey,
if you only speak
let me
English,
get this over here so we can go in.
pain in English is pain en français. No, it's not the same meaning, but it's spelled the same way. This looks good.
It does look good.
A little bit of cheese in there. If you're like me, I might have a bite of this and then throw some hot sauce on here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Mm-hmm. You certainly did.
Let's fix that later. All right, let me try this a little bit. Oh, why do I got so many spoons?
Because we had tasting spoons
I'm gonna work with this spoon for now.
before. Audrey, did you like it? Audrey had the soup yesterday. Without cheese.
Oh, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
In all fairness, this isn't really that far off from cream corn in the concept of this. Cream corn is kind of this kind of texture, and it just doesn't have anything besides the corn.
Look at that cheese ball.
It's a good cheese ball.
It's good cheese ball. I like this beaucoup. Also, pardon me. I'm quite pleased that the corn
Yeah, I was gonna say
held
that.
up like a nice crunch to it. It's not
No.
mushy. It's not like it's still got like
But I think this is the big difference between also fresh
Fresh
off the
versus-
cob corn, because
versus frozen. Yeah.
versus you get that it's the bite and the corn is so.
And again, you can make this recipe in the winter with frozen corn. It's not a huge deal. You can definitely use it. It's just, especially if you live in Quebec right now, the corn is plentiful AF. It is cheap and it is so good.
Also, you can make this, I think, very easily vegan if you wanted to.
The only reason that I like there's two major things in here that aren't vegan. The bacon is one of them, obviously, but I have seen plenty of vegetarian
Bacony.
vegetarian corn chowder recipes. If you want to cream stuff and you're vegan, you already know this. If you're trying to be vegan, you can use cashews. You have to soak them and whatever and blend them, and that'll give you a little bit of like a creamier texture. You can also use rice to thicken as opposed to using, again, milk products.
This is hitting on you.
It's hitting on me. I don't. What does it say? Hot, hot, hot. Oh, well, thank you. You scare me.
It's not just me.
Oh, my appliances think I'm hot and sweaty.
Oh my golly. That excellent. I really, really like that. One of my favorite things we made on the show.
And this was one of the only times ever
Yeah.
that I will do one of the recipes that I actually sell through the kitchen online because it's so good.
Yeah, you did this in the kitchen.
I made this week. So anybody who, a couple of people ordered this for me this week. It's really yummy.
Make it.
Yeah.
Next week, in keeping with this, I should finish what's in my mouth.
You might want to do that. Next week, in keeping with what is
ingredients that are incredible staples for culinary delights.
Yes.
We are devoting it to what we're calling the pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass or pain in the ass. Hopefully you won't put your bread in your butt, but because that's not what we're
share it on Facebook.
That's not what we're doing.
We are now, though. I think we should do that.
No, but now I also think we need a cam chowder channel.
Cam chowder.
Cam chowder.
Who wouldn't watch clam chowder? I
Oh my
like
god,
clam
only if
chowder.
I could speak in a terrible, horrible Boston accent. Clam chowder!
That was a terrible.
I know, I
that was
told
a
you.
Horrible Boston
That's
accent.
what I said.
Clam chowder.
And about the
Oh,
two of us,
mine.
I grew up summers in Cape Cod, so I should know better, but I do not.
Yeah. Isn't that not? That's not Boston, though, right?
No, but Cape Cod is an hour south of Boston. Or off the little. Cape Cod is the part of Mass, the arm,
I don't know.
the strong arm of Massachusetts.
So next week is all about bread.
Mhm.
What are you making? You know? Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you making?
I was thinking next week I'm going to do a panzanella, which is an Italian bread salad. But using a lot of the, again, I'm trying as much as possible. I am so blown away. Audrey's going to laugh at me. I'm so blown away by the food we have access to up here. So I was thinking of maybe doing something with hothouse tomatoes and maybe peaches and some nice crusty bread and possibly burrata. We'll see. I'm not committing to the burrata just yet, but definitely some kind of panzanella using fresh local products. And you?
Because
Are you making bread cocktails?
well, I think we're gonna probably play around with some beer cocktails, which is the bread of the booze industry. But there's a few other ideas I've been looking at.
Can we do a cocktail in a bread bowl?
I was thinking a cocktail sandwich. Can I make a cocktail sandwich? I don't think so, but I'm going to try.
Oh, I just had an idea that I'll wait a couple of minutes and share with you when we're off the
off
the air.
Off the airs?
So we can have secrets from our peeps.
Ah, well.
Yes.
So that's next week. One more time, thank everybody for being part of the show today. We had a good group today. It was nice. It was a very nice
You guys
group.
are lovely. Thank you so much.
I love this. Thank you everybody for joining in the show today.
Thank you for anybody who subscribed to the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your friends.
Thank you to Pinot Noir and Chai Chai Shuli for joining in.
Thank
today.
you, Chef Duy-an, for feeding me Jello in our Sexy Woman
That was a
segment.
weird thing
Fabulous.
that
I
happened.
loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Divine Danny D, for
El
being awesome.
Diabloe. It's too hot to make
Yeah,
affection.
anything.
To make affection.
It is.
How
about you?
next? Yeah, I'm very excited. We're gonna have a fun show next week. We will be back. We took a week off last week. Thank you very much for
It was
understanding.
Danny's birthday.
My birthday. You said you want to do a birthday thing for me this week, and you didn't do one. You had to leave a segment for the birthday. This is it.
Please hold.
You said to leave it. I've left it. I'm just gonna stand here. Wait. It's a piece of corn silk in my mouth. Yeah. I think my microphone's still working. No, it turned off totally.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday
Thank you.
to you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, look at that boob sweat.
Happy birthday, dear Danny D.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Why did you do that?
I thought it'd be cute and sexy.
Adorable. I'm El Diabloe.
I'm the Divine Danny D. Stick around for an extra special
Closing credits.
post-credit scene.
You know you
A
wanna.
little bit longer, but you're gonna love it.
You do it for the Marvel movies. Do it for us.
Marmal movie?
The Marmal movies. Do it for us.
Stick around.
See you next week.
Be safe. Bye.